Hello and welcome to another Not With Me video. My name is Masha, and if this is your first time watching, then be warned that this isn't a tutorial. I will not be teaching you anything here. This is just for the vibes. I'm making a friendship bracelet. I recorded the entire thing from start to finish, although actually not from start here. I did make a few rows before I decided I want to make this a Not With Me, just because this bracelet is so cool. But yeah, it's just a recording and a time lapse and just a chance for us to hang out, catch up, and you know, spend some time together. So not a tutorial, big disclaimer. I get comments on every video, so that's why I have to do these at the beginning. Last time we did a Not With Me together, it was October and I was making a pumpkin bracelet. So it really has been a while since I've recorded one of these. And I just sat down to make this bracelet on my own. Like I wasn't actually planning on recording this at all, which is why I kind of skipped the first few rows. I wasn't actually planning on making this bracelet either. I was watching Kiki's delivery service with Stefan, who's my husband. We're long distance at the moment, and we have like movie nights every Friday. We select a movie to watch and we watch a movie. And I also have a goal of watching 25 films this year, which I don't really watch many films. I don't consume visual media in general. I don't really watch TV shows that much as well. So it is a goal of mine to watch more films, and so that's why we're doing this whole like Friday thing. We watch a film together. Anyway, point is, I was watching Kiki's Delivery Service. It was a wonderful, beautiful, cute film. I really loved it, and I was rummaging through my stuff because I can't just sit down and watch something. Not only do I have ADHD and it's really difficult, but like I get bored, you know? I need to occupy my hands with something. I get fidgety. So I was looking for something to do and I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna start a bracelet. I started rummaging through my stuff and I found so much string that I forgot existed. And one of those was this beautiful, beautiful rainbow thread that I absolutely, absolutely love. I actually got sent this a while back, I think, like years ago. I had two packs of it, and one of the packs I did use fully. I made a bunch of bracelets a few years back. And then the second pack I was just kind of saving, you know. I'm not really one of those people who kind of saves cool stuff and never uses it in terms of like strings or special stickers or something. I am very much use it kind of person. I would rather use it and let it have a life and actually bring me joy in some way. And I feel the same way about like stickers, as I just mentioned, with journaling and stuff. And even with pretty journals, I used to get what is called notebook paralysis, right? Which is when you get this beautiful journal and you don't know what to put in it and you just kind of end up staring at it and it just kind of sits there. So I am really actively, I am prone to that. It's not like it's not in my nature. It very much is in my nature to like hoard things and be a dragon and just like look at my pretty things, you know? But I've been trying to combat that very actively, and so I do use my pretty journals, I use my pretty stickers, I use my pretty string, and even if it's imperfect, and I'm not waiting for the perfect thing basically, and even if I do make something and it is imperfect, at least I made it and actually have something rather than just having this thing lying around. So my point is, I wasn't keeping that string because of reasons like that. I just genuinely forgot that it was there. I think it's part of the ADHD thing, really. I have terrible object permanence, and if I forget for a second that something exists, it's just gone. It's just gone from my mind. So that string was lying around in my drawer for years until I randomly stumbled upon it now. And that also kind of prompted me, I'm probably gonna do this, I haven't actually done this yet, but it prompted me to think about pretty much like restructuring my entire string organization system. And I have a lot of creative stuff that is just kind of lying around. Same with like stickers and other stuff that I use for crafts and different kind of projects. I just have it all lying around, not in a very structured way. And I need to go through everything and kind of get rid of stuff that I don't need. I'm actually getting rid of a lot of washi tapes currently. I'm giving it away to some friends who are crafty, and also my friend's niece, who was really excited and kind of wants to take my entire collection, so I'm really excited to give that away to someone who will actually love it. But yeah, I just want to do a big kind of unhaul of all the things that I'm not really using, haven't used in years, while at the same time kind of reorganizing the systems that I do have so that I don't have strings just lying around for years without being used. So yeah, I was watching Kiki's Delivery Service, which was an amazing film, by the way, and I found the string and I was like, do you know what? I have the perfect pattern to use for this. And this pattern has been in my to-dos for a really long time, and I've been waiting. I knew when I like favorited it when I added it to my to-dos. I knew that this was a pattern for some kind of color changing or like shifting string, but I didn't have any specific plans for it until I found this string and I was like, you know what, this is the perfect pattern for it. And by that I mean, you know, patterns with some kind of graphic thing, right? Like this shape with an outline and with otherwise quite simple colors other than the color changing rainbow string, right? We've only got black and white here. So it's kind of simple and it's plain in other ways, and you use that colorful string to kind of bring some elements to it and make it exciting and make it really pop. So I'm really glad that I chose this, and yeah, I just started doing it. It was the first bracelet I did without any plans of making a video or a tutorial of any kind, you know? In a while. I haven't actually made a bracelet for myself in a while. And not because I'm tired of it or any other reason, it's just I've been busy with other hobbies. I don't know, like my interests change with time. I've been reading a lot, I've been journaling a lot, I've been doing lots of other creative stuff, playing video games a lot as well, and just like bracelets on their own kind of haven't really been a big hobby of mine in a while. I'm also trying to write a book, you know, so I'm being into writing a bunch as well. So I'm quite a creative and a hobby-driven person, and it kind of ebbs and flows with what things I'm into, and bracelets just haven't been my thing in a while, and I have been making them, and you know, they've been a part of my life this whole entire time, but I've only been really doing it for videos. So this was the first one in a really long time that I just started for myself. And then yeah, as I said, once I got into a couple of those rows, I was like, do you know what, this is too good. I had to share this, you know? It's just gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it. And this string also comes pre-cut. It comes pre-cut pretty much exactly to the length that you need to make a single friendship bracelet. The only problem for me is that this specific pattern, because the actual kind of element, I don't know how to, like I don't have the words to describe it. I don't know the correct terminology, but like the part of the pattern that repeats is actually quite long. And I wanted to have that completed design. I didn't want to like finish it midway through because that would have looked a bit strange. I wanted to start it and finish it in a similar way. I started and finished it at the point where there's like that bit of a diamond, that gap between the two things. There's a natural kind of triangle shape there, a chevron shape there that divides the two elements, and that's where I did my triangle start and my triangle end, because it actually goes in both ways if you look at it. So I wanted to start it I wanted to finish it the same way that I started it, so I really wanted to have like this completed thing. And then when I started making it, I realized it's actually like a really long pattern. And if I made 3 of them, that wouldn't have been enough to be a full length of a bracelet. But if I made 4 of them, it would have been a bit too long. I try to keep my bracelets in between like 14 to 16 centimeters-ish. That's roughly what I usually go for. And this one, I think, actually, I don't know. Let me check right now because I have it in front of me. I think this one, yeah, is about 17 centimeters. So it's just, you know, it's not that much longer than a normal bracelet would be. It doesn't look weird. It doesn't look, you know, out of place in any way. But it is a little bit longer than I typically make my bracelets, and so I didn't quite get the string length right with the strings that I cut. And also, as I just said, the rainbow strings actually came pre-cut, which would have been fine for a regular friendship bracelet, because I made mine a little bit longer than it normally would be. I did have to replace my strings towards the end of the bracelet, so that was a little bit annoying, but it's fine. I got through it, and just looking at it both in the video as I'm recording this and also just in person, because I have it in my hand and I'm looking at it, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I don't know, there's something about rainbows, I just keep coming back to them. I try to push myself in terms of colors quite a bit, because I think that that's one of the elements to bracelet making that makes it so fun. It's not just actually making the bracelet, it's picking out the colors and trying to come up with combinations and different unique ways. Like for example, even with bracelets like this that are quite simple, there's only really 3 colors, right? There's the white, the black, and then the string in the middle. A lot of the time when I do bracelets like this, I try to push myself, instead of using white and black, which is what I normally go for, that's kind of the standard thing that I choose. Sometimes with bracelets that have a background color and an outline color, I try to choose something else. And there was one bracelet I did towards the end of last year, which kind of had a pale yellow background color and a deep purple as the outline, and then the color in the middle kind of complemented that purple string, and I thought that turned out just beautifully. you know, I try to push myself with that. I try to push myself and try and figure out new colors. But there is something about rainbows that I just come back to time and time again. I mean, in this specific instance, it's just because I found this beautiful rainbow string and I really wanted to use it. But even when I'm coming up with color combinations and such, for other bracelets, and I have a tutorial coming up. I actually don't know how I'm posting these in which order. I tend to have a few videos and then kind of figure out how I'm posting them later on, so I don't know when things are coming out. But there is a tutorial bracelet coming out at some point that uses a bunch of rainbow as well, and you know, it's just a color combination that I keep coming back to because it just looks so good. It's such a classic, and it works well, and I really enjoy how it looks visually. But yeah, I also, with bracelets like these that use color changing string, I find them a lot more fun to do as well. Not only that, but also with patterns like these, patterns that have kind of a longer repetition to them, I find a lot more interesting to do because, as I just said, part of making bracelets, to me, part of what makes it fun is choosing the colors and then also seeing how those colors actually work within the bracelet. Part of it as well is, well, the act of making it as well, of course. And then when you have sort of patterns with longer repetitions as well, it's kind of you're discovering the pattern as you're making it. And because it takes you longer to create the entire repetition, you only have to discover it like a couple of times and then you're done. But whereas where patterns repeat a bunch, especially if it's just like 1 or 2 rows that repeat over and over again, I tend to find those a little boring because I just get tired doing the same thing over and over. But then as well, with the colors, especially with color changing string like this, I find it very interesting and just so enjoyable to watch how the colors come together within the pattern and within the design to kind of make this cohesive thing, right? And with color changing string, it comes out different every time. Like I'm looking at this thing now, there's actually some repetition to it. I tried to arrange the strings kind of in a way that they all flow, because there's 4 strings, right? There's 4 of those rainbow strings. I tried to arrange them in a way that they all kind of flowed more or less in time with each other, so it wouldn't be like a complete clash where one of them is like green and the other one is purple, right? They're all roughly in the same area. But still, like we have 2 that are kind of pink and purple and blue, and 2 that are kind of green and orange and red and a little bit of pink as well. But at the same time, even the 2 that are similar to each other and the 2 others that are similar to each other, they're not the same. So I don't know, I just loved it. And I finished it off with triangle ends on both sides and twisted ties, and I separated the ties with the black and the colorful string and the white. And I think it turned out beautifully. I think it is such a wonderful bracelet. So the pattern is linked in the description in case you want to make it. It is a wonderful bracelet to do. I really recommend it, especially with some kind of color changing string, if you have that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I hope you guys did too. If you end up making it, please send me pictures because I love to see that. As I said, more tutorials and more videos are coming out. I have a few on the channel already, like just ready to be scheduled. So we are good to go. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and especially my top supporters. It is with your support that I'm able to create the videos that I do on this channel, so I really appreciate it. If you also want to become a supporter, the link to my Patreon is in the description. My book, The Beginner's Guide to Friendship Bracelets, is also now out. It is a photo tutorial book aimed for beginners, but it also takes you all the way to more advanced stuff as well. It's available for purchase anywhere in the world. Anyway, you typically buy books, but there's also a direct link in the description. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. As I said, I would love to see pictures if you have them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!